Good morning, friends.
Good
It's
morning, friend.
Wonderful Wednesday. I'm so excited. I know you guys are looking at my lap right now thinking, holy yarn barf, what is all of this? Yes, this is why you should cake your yarn before using it. I'm a walking advertisement this morning of why you should cake your yarn. Look at this. I'm starting new skeins this morning. I did find my starting points, but my lap is a hot mess. Caroline, good morning. How are you? Gen X is in the house. Today we're starting a new blanket. This is the beginning of my pink. Look at that. I'm going to cut that off and get it to a nice starting point. This morning I am using, uh, what is this yarn? Big Twist Value Pound Plus, 1,093 yards. Holy moly, I got this from Mary Maxim. Now, this yarn calls for an H8 hook. I'm going to try with a I9 hook this morning. Whenever I work on the Modern Granny, I always use an I9 hook. So anyhow, we're going to see how this goes. Michigan says, living in Michigan, but from Alabama. Welcome, Alabama friend. Sparkly Witch is here. Kimberly is in the house. Gen X is here. Karen, good morning. How are you, my friends? Are you scared about this pile of yarn in my lap? I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie. This is a little concerning to me, but let's see how this goes. So today I am making a modern granny blanket. Betty said, do you remember how much? Betty, I don't. I had a coupon and I really do not remember, but I got this from Mary Maxim because I thought, well, those are nice big skeins to make wheelchair size blankets. So that was my thinking. But I've got watermelon. This is the watermelon, really pretty pink, teal, and white. So I'm going to put these three colors together this morning and see how it goes. All right. Hey, Lefty, good morning. Jennifer just finished a 6-day kid blanket. Nice, nice. Pam's Beach Vibes is here. Valdlocks, good morning. Karen says, I don't want to work today. Girl, same. I really don't as well. So here we go. Brand new blanket, starting from scratch. This is the Modern Granny. I'm making a rectangle this morning. I start with a slip knot on my hook. Now I'm using a size I9 hook this morning. That's what I typically use for the Modern Granny blankets. The yarn calls for an H8, so we're going to see how this goes. Hey, Nikita, how are you? Cindy doesn't want to work either. Just a Gen X girl in the house. All right, guys, I got to count. We're going to do a chain of 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So when I make this blanket, your starting chain needs to be divisible by 3, okay? I chain 37 because that one is going to count like as a turning chain stitch, okay? I'm going to skip this one and now I'm going to work back the other direction with a single crochet into each stitch. And I'm going to work in the back bump. So what I'm doing here is basically starting with like a foundation chain. Now, if you guys like to do the all-in-one foundation chain, by all means, go right ahead. I'm kind of an old dog and I haven't learned that new trick. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to use it. I'm using an I9. I believe that's a 5.5 millimeter hook. Hey, Karen, good morning. How are you, friend? That's right. It's Wonderful Wednesday. Halfway to the weekend, friends. Halfway there. I know I'm excited for the weekend. I've got lots of stuff rolling around in my brain for what my weekend projects are going to be, but we have a couple more days here on the live just to get through some more projects, and then you'll have to wait and see what's on deck for next week. Excuse me, Debbie. This morning I am making a modern granny blanket. starting from scratch. I just chained 37. I turned and I went into the second loop on my hook. I'm using Big Twist Value Plus yarn, 1,000 and something yards per skein, big skeins. The pink I'm using is watermelon. I'm also going to use teal and white. So I'm going to use those three colors. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working into the back loop of my starting chain. And I'm going to end up with a total of 36 inches. So when you start this blanket, you need a total, you need your starting chain to be divisible by 36. And how I figure out the size of my rectangle. This morning, I want to make a wheelchair size, okay? And for me, wheelchair size is 35 by 45 inches. So what I do is I take 45, the length, and I subtract the width. So 45 minus 35 gives me 10 inches. Okay. So when I do my starting chain, it needs to be divisible by 3, but I also am trying to get it right around 10 inches long. So if you were making a blanket that say you want to make it 50 by 45, okay, just throwing out some numbers, I would take 50, subtract 45, and that would give me 5 inches. So instead of a starting chain of 10 inches, I would only need 5 inches. So that's how I figure that out. Okay, so that is our little starting chain here. This is the colorway watermelon. And I've got a total of 36 stitches. So now I'm going to start working my granny stitches. Hey, Randa, good morning. How are you? Leah is here. Good morning, Leah. Christine is in the house. Welcome, welcome, friends. A lot of stitch talk today. We're starting a brand new blanket. If I miss your comment, please do not take it personally. The mods will try to help answer the question, and if they can't answer, they'll pin the comment for me, okay? But this morning, we are making a modern granny. Hook and Yarn is here. Julie, good morning. So I start with a starting chain of 3. That counts as my first double crochet. Now I'm going to place 2 more double crochets working into this very end stitch here. I need to kind of split that. I don't want a big hole in my work. So I'm going to kind of split this stitch apart. There is double crochet number 2 and 3. Okay, so that is one side of our blanket. I'm going to chain 2. That chain 2 is our corner. Now right back down into the same stitch here, I'm going to do 3 more double crochets. So this is going to be the long, kind of the skinny edge of our blanket. Okay. So there is number 3. So here's the corner. Now I need another corner here. Chain 2. Right back down into this same stitch, we need another 3 double crochets. Okay, so there you can see there is the corner. Corner here, corner here. Now I'm going to start working on the length of our blanket. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to skip 2 stitches, and into the third, I'm going to place another granny cluster. Granny cluster is 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just kind of getting the base started here. Now I'm going to skip 2 into the third, again, 3 double crochets, and I'm going to work this the entire way down. Let's see. Jennifer said I made one of these before. They work up fast. Granny is one of my favorite patterns. It does work up fast. They're great for wheelchair size when you do this rectangle, if you want to make a blanket for donation. So I'm going to stop when I get to 35 by 45. Now here's the thing, guys. Let's say you want to make it bigger. Let's say you want to make a 50 by 60 size. Applying that same math logic. I know it's early to do math, friends. Very early. Hey, Marcia. Good morning. How are you? Um, 60, the length, minus 50 is again 10 inches. So if I didn't stop at 35 by 45 and I kept going, I could make this like a couch size, a throw blanket. Okay. So again, I'm skipping two and then into the third, doing a granny cluster. One, two, into the third, three double crochets. Veronica, how are you? Debbie Wood is here. Good morning. Shauna is in the house. Missy said, do you have a tutorial for this? Love this. So here's the thing, Missy, and for those that are new followers, um, I am live this morning, both on TikTok and on YouTube. Once I finish with this live session today, you can find a replay of this over on my YT. My handle over there is Wheeler 8 Acre, same as my TikTok. Brand new skein yarn. It's a little. We're gonna have some yarn barf today, friends. I'm afraid to say it. I'm a walking advertisement this morning for why you should cake your yarn. So anyhow, Missy, if you go over to my YouTube, um, when you're on my profile over there, you'll see a category that says videos, shorts, and then live. So all of the live replays are on that tab. So friends, if you're not following me over on YouTube, hit me up over there. There is a link on the link tree. And the yarn that I'm using this morning is Big Twist Value Plus. These are huge skeins. I picked these up at Mary Maxim. I had a coupon. I caught them on sale. I'm a bit of a thrifty yarn shopper. You all know I'm just downright cheap, I'll tell you. There ain't nothing wrong with that, right? So anyhow, I got a lot of yarn here, but they're all brand new skeins. So we definitely are going to have some challenges this morning as I work with this yarn. But that's kind of the way it goes, you know? I'm sure you all have that same problem when you start new skeins. So it's this pink, you can see it's really tight here in the center, and I'm having to kind of try to pull it out without it getting too knotted up, but it's a bit of a hot mess. I'm not gonna lie. It's a hot mess. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. This is the day that I needed my yarn barf sticker. Goodness gracious. Who said crocheting was easy? Crocheting, you got to have a dose of patience with your yarn, right? If it's too horrible, I'll cut it off, but I hate to cut because, again, I'm cheap. I don't want to cut it. Oh, goodness. We've got a knot here. Let's see if I can get this out here without getting my knot slayer. Okay. So here we go. We're almost to the corner here. 30 comments. Guys, lots of comments this morning. I'm going to try to keep up. Bear with me here. I'm fall behind when I'm doing my stitch talk. Smart girl, I am making a modern granny blanket. Skip two into the third here. My three double crochet granny cluster. Okay. Now I'm ready to work on my corner. Okay. So we're going to do this exact same thing that we did to begin here. We're going to do this same thing here on this end. So in the very last stitch, I'm going to do three double crochets, wiggle your hook in there. I try to kind of work it so that I don't end up with a big hole at the end of my blanket. So I'm going to do three double crochets, just like I did on the side. Now this is going to be a corner. So just like you do for a granny square, you chain two. Now right back down into this stitch, I'm going to do three more double crochets. This will end up being the short side of our blanket, this little cluster I'm doing right now. Chain two, another corner, and now right back down into that stitch again, we need, oh, I split that. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see me split those fibers? Rut-row, lots of rut-rows this morning. Okay, so there is our little corner where we have our chain two and our three. So now I'm going to start working back along this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this other side with these stitches that I made here. And I'm just going to do them exactly the same direction. Miss Mary, good morning. Karina is in the house. Anvil's here. Good morning. Lefty, I don't know if I said good morning, but good morning. Chantel is here. Dog Mama. Dana is in the house. Good morning, friend. How are you? Missy is here. Missy, I'm using a size I9 hook this morning. I9. And this yarn calls for an H8, but when I make my modern grannies, I really like to use an I9. I9 is a 5.5 millimeter. So I'm going to skip 2 into the third, another granny cluster. And that is 3 double crochets. So can you kind of see how this little caterpillar is starting to form up here? It's not being cheap, it's being smart. There you go. I'm a smart cookie. Rebel Chick is here. Good morning. Let's see. Who else did I miss here? Chantel, I don't know if we have two. We have Chen. Is it? Or do you both say it Chantel? Two different spellings, but both of our Chantel friends are here this morning. Mama Wheeler is here. Good morning, Mom. How are you? Catherine said, I'm finally here. Don't worry, Catherine. You didn't miss much. Denise, good morning. How are you, friend? Joan is in the house. Arlene is here. Everybody's here. Vielka, good morning. The watermelon is fabulous, Debbie, isn't it? I was just feeling like pink. I was feeling pink this morning. This morning I'm using an I9 hook. I9. So I'm going to put this pink with this teal and white. Look at that yarn barf I got to work through, friends. I'm going to have to exercise some patience this morning. It's going to be a challenge. Paula, how are you? Wow, 360 people here this morning. Thank you guys all so much for the screen taps. 6.7 thousand already. Everybody's tapping away. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is one of my favorite blankets to make. If you have not made this, this is the Modern Granny. Now, the Modern Granny can be made in a square shape or a rectangle. This morning, I am making it in a rectangle. So this is kind of my own method for doing this. My own method to the madness, I guess you could say. But my end result, I'm looking to do a 35 by 45 size so that it's a good size for a wheelchair. And this will be for donation. I'll be sending this off to Sabre Healthcare when I get it done. So let's work through this mess of yarn here. Goodness me, oh my. Goodness me, oh my. Did everybody get their coffee this morning? The foundation stitch I started with, if you missed it, I chained 37. Then I turned my work and I worked into the second loop from my hook and I did a single crochet. So this little part right here is a chain with a single crochet back the other direction. And that is how I start these blankets. Now, if you just prefer to do a chain, you could do that, but I like to fatten up the middles a little bit. Just give it kind of a little more support here. I don't know if that's all in my mind, but it just makes it feel a little more sturdy to me having that little single crochet. So when you start your blanket, you need to make sure that it is divisible by 3. So I did 36, which gave me 10 inches. So how I calculated is I needed a 35 by 45. I took 45, I subtracted 35. I know I'm asking you all to math. It's so early for mathing, April. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, girl, making us do math this morning? But it is simple math. 45 minus 35 gives me 10 inches. So this little starting caterpillar I had here, this little part right here, is 10 inches. So we finished our first row here. I'm feeling like we need another row of pink on this. Do you guys think I should do another whole grouping of pink? What do you think? Or should I move on to the teal? What do you guys think? I need to do my chain row next. But should we move immediately to the pink or do you want to see another row of this pink? I really like the pink. The pink color is watermelon. More pink. I think more pink. You guys think more pink? I'm feeling the pink this morning. It's a really cool color of pink. So what I'm doing right now is look, I split a fiber there. I got to rewind this. Already frogging this morning. Goodness me, oh my. Rewind. Deanne says more pink. I think everybody says more pink. So we'll do another row. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to work my way over here to the corner. Now, when you work on the Modern Granny, some people will turn their work and they will work back the other direction. So I would flip my work like this and then work this way. For me, I like all my stitches to be facing the front. So I'm going to continue working in the round, around and around and around, without turning my work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a chain of 3. When you do the modern granny, the beautiful part of it, and you'll start to see this in the next couple rows, these clusters will actually stack on top of each other. So if I was working just a regular granny square, I would work another cluster of 3 in between, right? You guys are familiar with that. We're doing a little different this morning. So in the corner, chain 3, then I do a single crochet right back down in. So I'm adding a chain structure all the way around. Chain 3, skip over my little cluster into the corner, single crochet. Chain 3, and then single crochet right back down into the corner. So that is going to be our corner as we are coming back along. Chain 3, and this will make more sense why we're doing this as we get to the next row, okay? Chain 3, right in between the clusters. I don't try to go in the stitch, I just go right in between, single crochet. So that single crochet is what is tacking down that little chain that I'm doing. Chain 3, single crochet. And you're going to do that the whole way around. This entire blanket pretty much is made with single crochets, chain, and double crochets. And I do some slip stitches. So it is a rather, if you're learning crochet and you're wanting to kind of branch out and make a blanket, maybe you've made some other stuff before, but you're kind of venturing into blanket land, this is a great way to make the blanket. Catherine says, I'm lost. Okay, so right in between here, Catherine, we're going to single crochet. So what that does is I have this little chain that is sitting on top of the clusters. Okay, so right in between, we're going to do a single crochet. Chain 3, and again, single crochet. Sorry, I have to keep moving my work to try to get my yarn barf under control this morning. To start after chain 36. So after I started the chain of 36 right here in the middle, okay, then do you guys want to see me do this from the beginning? Those, we had a lot of people come on. Let me just do another one here, and then it'll be clear. Okay, let's pause with our pink. I will rip this back out, but let's just do another one because there's so many questions. Okay, from the beginning, from the top, start with a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So there's my chain of 37. I do one extra because I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to work in the second loop. This loop that's on my hook, it does not count as a stitch. Okay, so I'm going to skip this one. Into the second one, I'm then going to do a single crochet. This is how you would start your very beginning center. And I'm going to work into the back loop. When you look at your chain, one side you have your 2 loop. Almost looks like woven bread, little V on one side. If you turn it, you have the back loop, this little bump. Some people call it the back bump. Um, we can call it that. I'm working a single crochet into the back bump of all of these stitches. Okay, Catherine, does this help? Does this help? I hope so. We got to work this all the way down. Working in these back loops kind of takes a minute, but this should help kind of eliminate some of the questions for those that weren't here when I started at the very beginning. We're going to have to rip all this back out, but you're kind of getting the idea. Does this make more sense? For those of you that like to do a foundation chain, by all means, do your thing. Okay. I've been crocheting for 40 years and I'm kind of set in my ways. I like doing the, starting chain with the single crochet back in there. Hey, Pam, good morning. Everybody was missing you yesterday, Pam. Leah was trying to call you out. I said it. Leah was right after you. I said maybe she's got to work or something, or maybe she had some stuff going on. Queen is in the house. Good morning, Queen. How are you? I hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday. Halfway through the week, halfway to the weekend. I'm excited for another weekend. I'll tell you, these long weeks after a holiday are rough. While I'm working on this single crochet, friends, if you are a subscriber, the subscriber giveaway for the month of May is happening tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Time. Okay, this month's subscriber giveaway is a $25 e-gift card to Amazon. We'll do that right on the live tomorrow. We'll pause with our crocheting and do that giveaway. So if you're a subscriber, you're automatically entered to win. It's just my way of saying thank you for supporting the channel. All of the subscription money I put back into trying out new yarns and showing you guys new things. And of course, all my little blankets get donated. So I guess you're kind of giving back, but you don't feel obligated to subscribe. Just chill, have your coffee or your afternoon beverage if you're across the pond, and relax and enjoy and just chat with our friends here. We have a fabulous group of friends here. So it's not just about me. If you are new to my channel, my name is April. I'm a hobby crocheter. And I just come on in the mornings at 7:30 Central and have my coffee and chat with everybody. Okay, so we finished our chain structure here. Okay, so again, you want your chain structure to be divisible by 3. Now I'm going to work into this corner right here with our double crochets. I'm going to start with a chain of 3. That counts as my first double crochet. Then I'm going to go right back down into this first stitch right here, if I can get it on my hook. And I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. So we're working right into the end part of this blanket. So there is our first little cluster. Now I'm going to chain 2. This is the corner of the blanket. Right back down into that same stitch, I need 3 more double crochets, another cluster. We're going to cluster it up this morning. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me this morning and crocheting, and all of our wonderful friends here this morning. Lefty said only 2 more subs needed for the gift goal. Oh, thank you, Lefty. Yeah, we've had a lot of new subscribers this month. I really appreciate that for those that are subscribing. Thank you so much for supporting me. I do appreciate it. And 15,000, I missed 10,000. How about that? 15,000 likes this morning. Thank you all so much for that. So this is our corner of our blanket. Okay, so you've got a corner here and a corner here. Now I'm going to work along this side doing the granny clusters. And we're going to skip 2, and into the third, we're going to do a double or 3 double crochets. Okay, friends, I'm not going to keep working this teal because this is just a demo piece for those that were lost. Does this help though? Are you getting the hang of what we're doing here now? Are all the questions cleared up? Dana, have a great day. Thanks for hanging out. Fernaz, yes, I am making a rectangle blanket. Okay, so let's put this teal to the side. That was just for demonstration. Let's pick back up our pink. Okay, so you can see here where I left off. So after we finish all the way around, your corners, you're going to have, just like we just did, 3, chain 2, 3, chain 2, and then 3. Okay, so there's our little corner. Now what I'm doing is I'm working a little chain all the way around for our next row. So I chain 3, I skip over the cluster, and then I do a single crochet right in between the 2 clusters. Okay, I don't try to go in the top of the stitch. That is not necessary. It'll cause frustration. Just kind of split those apart, go right into that space, and single crochet. Chain 3. Now here I am back to a corner, single crochet right into the corner, chain 3, and then right back down into this same corner, we need another single crochet. Some people prefer to do a chain of 2 here in the corner. I do a chain of 3 just to, wow, sub goal achieved. Friends, thank you so much to all the subscribers. Thank you, thank you. Wow, that is amazing. Y'all, thank you so much. And a new Subwave sticker. How cool. The subs have access to lots of fun stickers. I try to change I'm almost changing the stickers every day, if you guys didn't notice. I really like stickers. I'm kind of creative that way. So if you are a uh, subscriber, you can definitely use those stickers. So here's our corner, chain 3, right back down into the next corner, single crochet, chain 3, right back down into that same corner, single crochet. So there's our new little corner. Working our way back around, again, just chain 3 and single crochet back into these spaces. This is going to make more sense as soon as we get to the end here. You're going to be like, the little light bulb is going to go on, and you're going to be like, oh, I see. Danny Lee, good morning. How are you? The light is going to click on 20,000 likes. How about that? The team is on fire this morning. You guys, thank you all so much for all the screen taps. Love, love, love it. What I really love, though, is this watermelon. This yarn I'm using right now is the color watermelon. Isn't it scrumptious, yummy, delicious? All of the words? So, so yummy. Hey, Vicki, good morning. How are you, friend? And good morning to all those that I may have missed this morning. I'm trying to pay attention to my work here and explain these stitches. If I missed saying hello, I certainly hope you're having a great day. Thanks for hanging out with us. Kelly is in the house. Paloma says, I'm loving that color. Yeah, guys, it's just really yummy. It's really yummy. And it's, believe it or not, big twist value, £1, 1,093 yards. I don't remember what I paid for this, but it was really, 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 really reasonable. When I make wheelchair size, I typically I need about 1,500 yards. So I'm going to have a lot left over of each of these skeins, but this is the colorway watermelon. Really, really pretty pink. The teal is teal and white. Look at that yarn barf we're going to have to work with. Ruh-roh. I told earlier, I'm a walking advertisement this morning for why you should cake your yarn, but I'm kind of lazy. Y'all feel me? Sometimes I don't feel like caking my yarn. I'm like, I'll just work with it. It's a good exercise in patience for me. Okay, so here we are back to the corner where we started. There's our little chain. I'm going to join with a slip stitch here to the very first stitch. So now what we've done is we've put a chain around the whole way, okay? Now we're going to start resuming our granny stitch. So into this corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now, friends, I like to do a standing double crochet, and I'll show you how I do mine. You do not have to do this. If you would like to do a chain of 3, that is totally fine. If you like to do a stacked single, whatever you like to do to achieve a double crochet here. The way I do my standing double, I pull it up to the height of a double crochet. In my mind, that's about tall enough. I twist my hook around, and I get a little twisty here in my yarn. I go into the space, and I draw up a loop. So now I have 2. Now, normally I would yarn over and pull through both of these. I'm going to pull through the first one. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this one around the back of the other, and I give it a little twist. So I still have 2 loops on my hook. If I pulled it through, I would only have 1. Then I yarn over and pull through 2. That is my standing double crochet. Then I'm going to do 2 more double crochets right into this same stitch. We want it a granny cluster. Granny cluster is 3 double crochets. Now we need another corner, so we're going to chain 2, And right back down into this chain space, we need to do 3 more double crochets. Okay, so just like when you do your granny square, that is our new corner. Now I'm making a rectangle size, guys. So if this looks weird, this is our short side of the blanket. Eventually this will get bigger as we go around. I didn't keep a, oh, I do have a sample here. Hang on. Let me pull out my sample here. This is another one that I'm working on. I do a lot of these, okay? But this is a different colorway. So we're right here where I have this black yarn. This is where we're at right now. So you can see as we go up, this is going to get substantially bigger every time we go around. Okay? If it helps you to kind of visualize. Texas Whiskey is here. Good morning, Shay. How are you? Okay, so now I'm not going to do any chains or anything, and I'm going to move right next to this next chain space. And I am going to do 3 double crochets. Okay, so there's our next cluster. Then I'm going to go right back over to this corner again. I'm not going to do any chaining. Maggie is here. Hey, Maggie, good morning. How are you, friend? Uh, Guys, if you are not following Maggie here on TikTok, the mods have pinned her up here in the comments. Maggie is a fabulous crocheter. She goes live on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday mornings. She does so many different projects. She teaches about crochet like how I do. I encourage y'all to give her a follow. You will not be disappointed. And she is this close to 30,000 followers. So it's very, very exciting. We're all rooting for Maggie. So if you're not following Maggie, now's your chance. Follow her or lose her forever. You'll want to, once you see her once, you're going to be like, oh, I love this gal. She's my new favorite. Well, and April too. Okay, so we turned the corner. In the corner again, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to work granny clusters along the side. Some people like to do a chain in between their clusters, a chain of 1, and then they resume with their clusters. I personally don't do that. I don't think it makes a difference. I actually feel like it makes it kind of have too big of a space right here. But if you're in the habit of doing a chain 1 there, you totally could, okay? Rebel it up. You do you. However you like to do that with your granny squares or granny stitches. I personally do not do a chain of 1, but that does not make it right. There are no rules in crochet. There are no rules. You know me. I'm going to break them all if there are. So I'm going to work 3 double crochets into each of the chain spaces all the way around. Does anybody need help making a double crochet? Raise your hand. I will definitely slow down and show you how to do a double crochet. This yarn is a hot mess this morning. Maggie always cakes her yarn. Maggie's a shining star. Maggie's so disciplined. I'm a walking advertisement of why you should cake your yarn this morning because I'm in yarn barf, you know what. Standing crochet. Catherine, you want to see a standing crochet? I will show you that when we have to wait a couple rounds here. Zena said yes. Okay, the way that I do a double crochet, we have our starting loop here on our hook. Wrap our yarn around. Now I'm going to go down into this chain space. I put my hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now we have 3. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So once again, here's the starting loop, yarn over, go right down into that space. Again, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Again, wrap your yarn around, right down in that space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through these first 2. Now we're back to 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Now I'm going to move to the next space again, and I am going to resume with our I'm going to try to resume with our double crochets. Hey, Mimi, good morning. How are you, friend? What does everybody have on their hook? Kay just became the 87th member of the fan club. Thank you so much for the heart me. Priscilla is here. Good morning, Priscilla. Lillian in the house. Good morning. Joy said, I just roll my yarn into a ball. Yeah, if you don't have a yarn winder, you could, roll it into a ball, or you could just do what I do. As I'm doing it this morning, as it's all twisted up, I just patiently work through it. So definitely, there's nothing wrong with just leaving it in the skein as well. I saw Miss Tanya is here. Tanya, how are you? Good morning. Okay, let me slow y'all down here. Y'all are flying with the comments now. Mimi said, first day of vacation. Awesome. Lefty is working on Virus Meeks Granny Blanket. I am very excited about Lefty's project, you guys. She found over on Fiber Spider. You guys know we've been making the virus blanket, a lot of us, or a virus shawl. Fiber Spider has mixed the granny stitch, this stitch I'm doing right now, the granny cluster, with a virus blanket, and it is really, really cool. Sarah said, is that for real? You have 400 plus watching? I do this morning, Sarah. All of our friends came to play this morning. Everybody is wanting to learn how to make a modern granny this morning, or just hang out and have fun. Either way works for me. Vicky said, I have 3 work in progress, 2 baby blankets, and a cardigan. Speaking of cardigan, I gave my sister-in-law the cardigan. I had made it for her. My very first cardigan. I'm incredibly proud of myself. I finally worked through it, got it finished. I have a video I'm going to post. And so anyhow, a lot of you guys saw me working on the cardigan, and my sister-in-law loved it. She was here over the holiday hanging out with me, and I said, oh, I'm glad you're here, sister. I have something for you. And she's like, for me? And I'm like, yes, for you. I'm like, it's a little warm right now, but um anyhow, she was very excited. So it was like, yes, I did good. uh Four Daughters is upcycling a jean jacket, crocheting sleeves on it. Oh, that is cool. Amber said, what brand hook is that? Oh, Amber, let's talk about my hook. I know a lot of you are curious. I'm kind of a hook snob, y'all. I learned to crochet with inline hooks. And so, what an inline hook is, it means it's very straight through here. The other style of hook is called a tapered hook. So, here is your traditional boy hook. This is the same size hook. They're both I9 5.5 millimeter. The difference between a tapered and an inline hook is, you can see this gets skinny here. uh, you either love it or hate it. Okay, so as a crocheter, you got to figure out which hook you like best. The reason why I'm a bit of a hook snob is I learned to crochet with vintage Susan Bates hooks. Now, this one isn't even marked, but a lot of my hooks they're all made in the USA. I don't know if you can see right there. So this is a vintage hook. I suspect this hook was manufactured in the 1950s, and you can see I've put it through a lot. It's actually shiny in spots where I've actually started to wear off the finish of the aluminum. But I love Susan Bates inline hooks, and only the vintage ones. I don't like the modern ones. I don't like the shape of the head is different, so I don't like that. So, and then I make my own grippies. So some of you probably have not seen this before, but I use Coban. So you know when you go and you get your blood drawn, and uh, the nurse wraps you up with this stuff. I get this at Walmart, Amazon, any local drugstore, Walgreens, whatever you got, CVS, and I wrap it around my hook, and I make my own ergonomic little grippy of my hook. So that's why it looks, it gets little yarn fibers on it. So it starts to look grungy after a while. I just take this off, throw it away, and I get a new one. So that is my hook that I use. June is working on a corner to corner. Arlene's working on a waffle stitch. Joy's making crochet socks in different colors. Wow, nice. You guys are ambitious with your projects. Very, very cool. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me this morning. 40,000 likes. That is amazing. Amazing. Sparkly Witch said she's got 7 works in progress. Nice, nice. Lots of projects going on. Sorry, y'all. Let me catch up on here. Tanya's working on chores this morning. Tanya, that does not sound fun. Angie said, I'm working on a swimsuit cover up. Rachel's working on a single crochet striped blanket. I'm debating taking it out to do a continuous granny. Well, there's nothing wrong with doing a little frog action. You guys know I do it all the time. I'll tell you, I'm working on another blanket. You guys want a sneak peek of what's happening next week? Hang on, I got to pause. So I had, I do these modern grannies. This is the modern granny that I'm working on today. And what I thought to myself is, what if I changed it up and I put a fun granny square in the middle of my, this is the same thing I'm doing right now. But instead of the center doing it a long strip, what if I did 3 granny squares? These are flowers. I think we're going to do this next week. So anyhow, I've ripped this out. We talk about frogging over the weekend. I ripped this out like, I don't know, 8 times before I got it kind of where I wanted it. I still don't know if it's absolutely perfect, but anyhow, sorry, y'all. I'm really behind on the comments. Let me try to catch up. Sneezy's working on a duster long cardigan. Nice. So many projects. Another virus blanket. Kay is working on. Queen's working on a virus blanket. Yes, Kelly, she absolutely loved it. Maggie said, I only have a few works in progress. I think Maggie's way more disciplined than I am. I get so distracted, and I'm always trying to like do something new. These squirrels come by, okay? The squirrels run by, and then I get this brainstorm, and I'm like, I have to try this because if I don't, I'm gonna lose it out of my brain. Let's see. Pix Turtle, that's a cute name, said using vet wrap is so smart. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it just came to me one day. Other people use it as well. Lots of clover hook users. Angie's working on a swimsuit cover up. Nice. The reason why I like the Susan Bates, when I was first learning to crochet, um, as I worked very tight, okay? So as I was doing like a chain or whatever, what would happen is my yarn would slide down here around the neck of my hook and it would get incredibly tight. And so when I was using a tapered hook, sorry, I keep bumping the camera. When I would use a tapered hook, this would make this incredibly cinched up and I would really struggle because this would get so tight that I couldn't even get it through. Okay, and so this is why when I switched to inline hooks, when it slides down, this is all the same amount. From here down, this stays the same size. And so that is why I like it, because it helps me to control the size of my stitches and make them more consistent. So that is why I prefer an inline hook, and that is why I started using them. I learned when I was 9, and I was really frustrated with the boy hooks and how it was working. Then when I figured out, oh, I can crochet better with for me, the little light bulb went on. Valdox is making a market bag. Carla's making a baby bear blanket. Cute, cute. Kelly's making a market bag and working on, oh, you completed your market bag. I read that wrong. Study a snow and a star blanket. Tomorrow, we're going to do a star blanket, you guys. So tomorrow, I'm working with Bag a Day, the new Tonal Hues yarn. And I'm using the garden color. It's going to be green. And I'm going to be making a 12-point star tomorrow. Okay. So that is what is on deck. Kay's working on a dishcloth and light stick covers. Nice. Sherry's working on a blissful baby blanket. Cute, cute. I'm still behind on the comments. Bonita, greetings from Huntsville. Bonita, I'm over here in Alabama too. I'm in Rainsville. Do you know where Rainsville is? We're between Fort Payne and Scottsboro, if you're familiar. If you're from Alabama, you might be. I got a knot here. Let me see if I can get this out. There we go. Okay, we're back flowing. I got a lot of yarn knots this morning. Uh, working on 5 things, but right now a Bible cover. Oh, nice. Texas whiskey. That is cool. Oh, you guys like my new blanket? Sorry, I'm finally caught up to that comment. Sorry, I'm so far behind, guys. Let me. Texas whiskey said you need to show us how to do that. It's gorgeous. It really is. I'm very excited about this. This is the yarn of that blanket. This is a cinnamon squirrel cake. Technically, it's a swirl, SWIRL, but I call it a squirrel. It's a cinnamon squirrel cake because I messed up one day. If you guys want to use that yarn, cinnamon swirl, and it is the colorway latte. I really thought it was going to be more brown colors, but it has that nice pink in it. So that's the color of that new blanket I'm working on, guys. If you like that yarn. Yeah, the squirrels. These squirrels run by, you guys, and I get this in my brain, and I have to get it out. It's one of those things, like, if you like think of things at night, you have a notepad beside your bed and you write it down so you don't forget it. I'm the same way, except with my crochet. I have to get it out, or I lose it out of my brain. So that is why I try to do these. And that's why I have so many works in progress, because my brain is always going. I'll see a yarn and I'll be like, I'll see a pattern or something. I'm like, oh, that's perfect for that yarn. And then I have to like put it down on canvas, I guess you could say. Yes, it reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream. Friends, welcome to all the new followers. 50,000 likes this morning. Thank you so much for all of the likes. Thank you so much to all of the new followers as well. I know we've had a number of people hop on this morning. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to shout you all out this morning. The chat has been fast and furious. We have 400 and what, almost 30 people watching here this morning on TikTok. Very, very busy morning. If you are new to my channel, my name is April and I am a hobby crocheter. This morning, I am working on a modern granny blanket, and I'm working a rectangle shape. Okay, so we're going around and around and around. We started this from the very beginning on the live this morning. So I've worked my way around with my granny cluster stitches. Now I'm going to join with a slip stitch to my very first stitch. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch and get myself over here into the corner. This is how I do mine. I continue to work from the front as I do this 2-row repeat. So we're going to do another row. And basically, the only 2 rows of this pattern are the granny cluster, where you do the 3 double crochets. And then you can see here the chain of 3. So this is a chain of 3 with a single crochet in between the clusters. So that is the row I'm going to do next. When you do this, this allows the stitches to stack on top of each other, and it gives it an entirely different look. So here is an example of one I have going. This is Red Heart Super Saver in the colorway Black Light and Black. But you can see this was my very center. And as I'm working out, it's getting bigger and bigger. But the difference between this and a regular granny square, or a continuous granny square, is these are stacked on top of each other. And it gives it a really cool look. You can probably see it even better on this one. You can actually see my chain structure a little better because it's contrasting colors. So you can see this was the grannies. Here are the chains, and I'm just working those 2 rows over and over again. Okay, so the way we do this, in the corner, we're going to chain 3. Then I'm going to work right back down into this corner with a single crochet. So we're basically tacking down this chain. Then I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to skip over these 3 double crochets and right down in between these 2 clusters. I'm not going to go in the top of the stitch or try to do that. I'm just going to go in between the 2 clusters and do a single crochet. And I call that tacking it down. Okay, then I'm going to chain 3. Again, single crochet right in between. Secure that down. Okay, so that way you just have this little chain space. Now, as we come back around, we're going to put our double crochets into those chain groups. So here we are to the corner, chain 3, into the corner space, single crochet, chain 3, right back down into the corner space, another single crochet. So you're going to make a little loop in each corner. Now, some people prefer 2 double crochets in the corner. You don't necessarily have to do the 3. I just do it 3 so it remains consistent in my head, okay? I just always do 3. But if you would like to do 2, feel free. You are the fiber artist, so you do what speaks to you. You feel free to change that up however you like to do it. Let me pull out some yarn here. I have a brand new skein. If you're just hopping on, the yarn that I'm using today is Big Twist Value, pound plus, 1,093 yards. This is the colorway Watermelon. And Paloma asked a great question. What color of yarn will you be switching to next? Do y'all want to decide for me? Because I want to change the color. But the question is, do we want to change to teal or do we want to change to white? Teal or white? You guys decide. You tell me, what are we going to do for the next round? I'm totally open. You guys call it out. Betty, it is incredibly soft. It's not like Red Heart. This yarn is not like Red Heart. Lots of votes coming in. Mods, hopefully you can kind of keep track of that. Do we want to make a poll? I know the polls are a total pain, but I do have quite a ways to go here as we work around. We have time for a poll. Um, Let me know, guys, what color you think I should do next. And you guys all pick for me. Sometimes I have a hard time deciding. Poll, please. Mods, are you willing and able? How about a round of applause for our moderators? Our moderators here are absolutely fabulous. Uh, these 3 ladies really help keep me on track. They do an amazing job of answering questions. Um, I could not do this without them. For those that do not know, our moderators are Gen X, Anvil, and Leapin' Llamas, Leah. Seriously, I could not do this without them. They really help keep me organized and on track and help to answer a lot of the questions. They do all this every day out of the kindness of their hearts. Seriously, I can't say thank you enough. They really are amazing. And so are all of our friends here that come and show up every day and support me. Special shout out to all of the subscribers. We've had so many new subscribers this month. If you are a subscriber, you are automatically entered to win. We're doing our subscriber giveaway tomorrow at 8 Central Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. You do not have to be present to win. If you are the winner, I will DM you. But the prize for this month, the little thank you gift, is a $25 e-gift card to Amazon. Let's see. They're putting together the poll. The polls, guys. It's not letting them into the polls. Okay, they've kind of changed how they do the polls, and it makes it a little hard. So I think what was the consensus? Do you think? What was the consensus? Are we doing teal next or white next? What was the vote? I know you guys all piped up and said. White, teal, white. It looks like white is the winner. Mama C is here. Good morning, Carol. Mama C is my friend. We've been friends for, gosh, it feels like 30 years. We became friends in 95, 20 something years. Anyhow, Carol, good morning. Glad you're here hanging out with me. So it looks like white is going to be next, guys. I'm coming around. Let's talk about this chain for those that are just joining on. and wanted to know what we're doing. I chain 3. I go in between the two clusters. I don't go in the top here under the loops. I just go right in between in the space, and I do a single crochet. Chain 3, skip over these 3 stitches, go right in between, single crochet. We're setting ourselves up for the next round. We're going to be doing white right here in the corners, or in the next spaces. So white for the next round. I think you all just want to see me go through that white yarn because it's all barfed up in my lap. I'll tell you what, I might snip off that yarn barf. We're going to assess and see how bad it is. 1, 2, 3. I should have caked the yarn. Okay, so here we are. We're to the corner now. And in the corner, I'm going to join with a slip stitch to my very first stitch. And then I'm going to snip off so we can start with our next color. Modern Granny is basically a block stitch, right? But it is rounds instead of rows. You know, that is a very good question, Joni. And it's a question that I do not have the answer to. I've never done the block stitch, I don't think. But maybe one of our other experts here, because I'm not an expert, can knows the answer. But friends, what we're making today is the Modern Granny, and I'm working in a rectangle shape. Okay, so I started in the very center here, and I chained 37. I turned my work and I worked into the second loop of the hook, and I put 36 single crochets the whole way down. So what I was doing is I created this little like foundation chain, but I didn't do the all new fancy foundation chain. I just did it with a chain and then single crochets back down in there. Okay. 60,000 likes. Y'all, everybody's tapping away this morning. Okay, so you want to know how I'm going to deal with this yarn barf, guys? Here we go. Snip. That's how I'm dealing with the white yarn barf this morning, because I am not going through this on the live trying to sort this out, and it's all twisted up with my teal. Goodness me, oh my. Goodness gracious. Okay, so the yarn that I'm using this morning, the pink is watermelon. The green that you see here is the colorway teal. Okay, so watermelon, teal, and white. This is Big Twist Value Plus. Pound Value Pound Plus. Value Pound Plus. 1,093 yards. I picked this up from Mary Maxim. Huge skeins, okay? It's nice and soft to work with. I like Big Twist, and it's really great to work with. So look, I have this beautiful white yarn to work with that isn't all tangled up. How about that? Yes, I gave it a little haircut, a little snippety snip. Carol, I am making a modern granny blanket this morning. If I can find my crochet hook that I've misplaced. Okay, so I'm going to start with a standing double crochet. Okay, the way that I do this is I start with a slip knot on my hook. Now, friends, if you do not like doing a standing double crochet, you could do a chain of 3, you could do a stacked single, you could do a variety of different ways. I ended here in this corner. When I'm working in the round, I rotate my blanket and I never start where I ended. This will help to keep your project square or rectangle, as the case may be, but it's not going to get like wonky. Okay. So I'm going to pick a different corner. We're going to start in this corner, and I'm going to be working into these chain spaces with granny clusters. Okay. Granny cluster is 3 double crochets. So to begin, I'm going to do a standing double. Somebody wanted to see the standing double. This is how I do it. Get myself set up here. Okay. I start with a slip knot on my hook. I secure my tail. So I'm holding it between my pointer finger and my thumb. I wrap my yarn around once, and I go down into the chain space. Now, If you do not hold this tail, what happens is it spins off. Did you see how it just twisted off there? And then you go back down to one loop. So that is why, if you're making a standing double, very important to secure this tail. Some people will secure it like this and wrap around. I find this gives me too much space here and I get myself all confused. So I hold it like this, wrap my yarn around, keep holding my tail. Now my hand is at a wonky angle here. This is not how I crochet. I go through the loop, I bring this yarn forward, okay? And I transfer the job of holding this tail to Mr. Thumb here. So I still have two loops on my hook. I yarn over and bring up a loop. Now we have three. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. That is a standing double crochet. Cheryl, have a great day. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable doing a standing double crochet, you could tie on right here with a knot. Okay, you could also do a chain of three if you prefer that, or you could do a stacked single. So if we do a stacked single, I go through, pull up a loop, we have two, yarn over, pull through two, go through, you have two loops here. Can you see those? I'm going to go through just this one, go underneath, draw up a loop. Now we have two again, yarn over, pull through two. This stacked single also counts as a double crochet. So lots of different ways to do this. Whatever you feel comfortable with. There's no rules, there's no regulations. Crochet Police is not going to roll up in your living room and tell you you're doing it wrong. Although I will say, after the live last week, I was kind of breaking a lot of rules. And Papa Wheeler sent me a text and said, you're getting a little unruly. And remember, if you're locked up, you're not going to be able to teach crochet. So, anyhow, yeah, I do have to be on my best behavior a little bit. So, that is our stack or our standing double crochet. Uh, Thank you for best way to understand the standing stitch. I usually do a chain up. Yeah, there's absolutely no wrong or right way to do it. If you guys need to see the standing double again, I'll walk you through it again. This is how I do it. There's different techniques for this. This is what makes most sense to me. It doesn't make it necessarily right, but this is how I do it. So again, holding my tail and wrap my loop around once. If you're not holding this tail, it will spin off. Okay, so very important. However you do this, secure this tail. Now we have two loops. Go into the chain space, twist my hand forward, transfer the job of holding the tail to Mr. Thumb, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have three. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. Friends, if you do not know, Mama Wheeler, who is here in the chat, is my mom. And Papa Wheeler, although he is not on a device, he listens to me every morning and they have it on the TV and they watch me. So he sees all and he keeps track when I'm breaking the rules. So anyhow, it's all just in fun, you know. I'm not really in trouble. Okay, so now I need two more double crochets into this corner space. So we need a total of 3 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 2 and right back down into this corner, we need 3 double crochets. I like the white next to this pink, you guys. I really am digging this. Now I'm not going to chain or anything. I'm going to move into the chain space here and I'm going to do 3 more double crochets. Okay, so another grouping of 3, it's called a granny cluster. Again, not chaining, move to the next space here, 3 double crochets. I'm going to continue working this into each of the chain spaces all the way around. Now, one variation I have seen where folks work on this pattern is instead of doing the chain, this chain that we just did, in the same color, they will actually do it in a contrasting color. And so, like, you could do it in a white. And what that does, if you can kind of visualize it, it puts a little divot of color like in between the rows. It looks really cool if you do it like in a variety of colors. I've seen that done as well. So, like, let's say you're doing um, a green, you might contrast with a white or maybe a brown or something. So it's a very very neat way to do this. Samantha, I'm using a 4 medium weight yarn, and today I'm using an I9 hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook. This yarn actually calls for an H8 hook. It is big twist value pound plus yarn. But again, I'm rebelling it up and I'm using an I9. I really like an I9 hook when I work on the modern granny. For me, it just works up nicer. It kind of gives it a little more like wiggle room, is not so like tight and compact. So in the corner, we did 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now we're going to work along this side. Into each of the chain spaces, I'm going to do our 3 double crochets. Friends, welcome to all the new followers. I keep seeing new friends popping up. We are so glad to have each and every one of you here this morning. If you are new to my channel, my name is April, and I am a hobby crocheter. Lady Crochet said I made the Modern Granny Hexie Cardi. Yes, if you guys are into cardigans, this is a fabulous way to do, instead of the traditional granny, you could do a modern granny. That's what Lady Crochet did, and it works up really nice as a cardigan. I have not done it myself, but I know it works up beautifully. I've seen a number of different patterns and creators that have done that. Anne is back, and welcome back. Kate is doing a Starburst Granny Square blanket at the moment. That sounds fun. Uh, Carol said, how long does it take? Well, it depends on how fast you crochet. For me, a wheelchair size blanket is 35 by 45. That is the size I am going for this morning. And for me, I can do one of these blankets in 7 hours. Obviously, I'm crocheting slower on the live and explaining a lot of stitches. But if I just sit down in my living room and crochet at about 7 hours, that included, little trips to the kitchen for, refilling my water or whatever, and restroom breaks and all that. So, Samantha, it is nice to meet you as well. Friends, if you are watching, I assume we're on the FYP this morning. Lots of new people popping by. Feel free to come on in and say hello. I promise we don't bite. Not too hard anyway. Now, I will warn you, Leah, she can bite sometimes. So you got to watch out. We do have one biter in the group. Love you, Leah. So anyhow, if you are watching on the FYP, feel free to hop in, say hello, like, follow, share, guys. My name is April, and I'm really glad to have each of you guys here this morning. We are having a great day. It is Wonderful Wednesday. I love Wednesdays. Halfway through the week, the dreary of Monday has worn off. And it's just a nice place to come in the mornings or in the afternoons. If you're, we have a lot of people that watch overseas, all over the place, really watch in the mornings and in the afternoons. So anyhow, very, very glad to have each and every one of you here. I do come live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central Time. Let's see. Janie is here from Wisconsin. I love me some Wisconsin, folks. My dad, for those that don't know, was born and raised in Green Bay. So we have Wisconsin roots in our family. We're big Packers fans. And anyhow, so yeah, love me some Wisconsin, folks. Welcome, welcome. Here we are in the corner. And in the corner, I'm going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. Okay, so this is what our corner looks like. I will come back and weave in this tail later on. And unless somebody needs to see how to do, how to weave in, let me know if you need me to show you how to weave in a tail. We can definitely do that. Alberta, Canada is in the house. Welcome, Patricia. So nice to have you here. Paloma says, you're a cheesehead. Guilty. Guilty. Yes, ma'am. I certainly am. Why don't you weave in as you go? I need to know how to. I will stop and weave in the ends. It's just kind of boring on the lives. I try to teach more of the stitches, but when you need to know how to weave in an end, I will stop and show. Rita, good morning. Amara said, yes, please. Okay, so here is how I weave in my ends. Um, I get my darning needle. Okay, so I use the metal needles. It has a big eye on it, and the tip of the needle is rounded. Okay, and so I get my yarn onto my needle here. I always give myself quite a bit of a tail when I snip off, okay, just so I have some room to work. I'm going to hide this tail in my work. Now, a lot of times I will weave right back here under this color here, but because this is white, I'm actually going to slide this yarn all the way down to this grouping of granny cluster. Okay, so I'm going to kind of weave my needle here around these stitches and hide this into this grouping down here. Okay, so I'm just bringing it down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth a minimum of 3 times under these stitches. As I am weaving in the tails, it is very important to split your fibers. And what I mean by that is when you look at a strand of yarn, this is a 4 medium weight yarn. If we split this yarn apart, you can see it is constructed of 4 strands that are twisted together. This is like a 4-ply yarn, okay? So as I'm weaving under these stitches, I'm not trying to go underneath like this so that it's over top. I'm actually trying to split the fibers. So I'm trying to put my needle through those strands and bury it in. When you do that, this helps to grab onto the tail and hold onto it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get some stitches here. I'm going to weave through. Again, I'm trying to split these fibers, not necessarily go underneath all the way through. Okay, so that's going to help grab onto it. Now I need to go back the other direction. I'm going to go under these stitches right here, kind of split those. Now I'm going to go back the other direction, again, trying to split these fibers and hide this tail in my work. That's number 2. Grab these, kind of split those, lock that in, and now I'm going to go back again the opposite direction till we've done it 3 times. Now that is very secured in there. You can do more as well if you feel more comfortable doing more. Sometimes I do more, just depends. Then I'm going to snip off, throw this away. Whatever you do, don't give these to your birds. Okay, I'm a big bird advocate. Okay, birds don't need this for nest. My shameless bird plug. Okay, here's another one. Let's weave this one in just so we can kind of reiterate how we do this. Okay, so I get my yarn on my needle here. Again, I'm going to work around this kind of in a circle as if I was working a granny square. I'm going to be trying to split these fibers as I go along. Now, one thing I try to do on this center part, if I get a big hole right here, I try to kind of close that up a little bit and make it look a little nicer on the inside of my blanket. Paloma says, I'm a birder too. While I'm weaving this in, I will talk about my birds a little bit. Shameless plug. On my YouTube, if you guys are not following me on my YouTube channel, my handle is Wheeler8Acres. And we live in Northeast Alabama. And I have some laying hens. We have a small flock of chickens. We have a couple dogs, but I love the birds. We have a deer cam, a wildlife cam that streams on my YouTube 24/7. Now it went down last night. I got to restart the live. But normally we have our deer camera up where you can see the deer that come into ours. Also, I have lots of bird houses. So if you're familiar with birds, I have bird feeders that I live stream as well. I've been overrun with grackles. in the bird feeders. So I am going to be taking a break from the feeders for about 2 weeks to see if the grackles will go away. But we have cardinals and blue jays. We have all the birds that come in, and those live stream on my YouTube as well. The other camera that I have up is for our eastern bluebirds. I have, I think it's 17 nest boxes around our property. My handle, Wheeler 8 Acres, comes from the fact that we have 8 acres of land here. My husband is an avid truck, off road, quad, dirt, mud kind of guy. All right. He's a trucker. He does hay haul, he hauls big equipment. And so his nickname is Wheeler. So by default, I am Mrs. Wheeler. Okay. So that's where my handle comes from, Wheeler 8 Acres. But we do have a number of bird houses. We've had 3 broods of bluebirds fledge this year already. Our tree swallows fledged over the weekend. Okay, so over the long weekend, there's a bunch of tree swallows flying around out there. I think it was a total of about 10 babies that fledged out of 2 different nest boxes. And we still have one more nest box that has not fledged of tree swallows. So they're all flying around out there. But this weekend, I had a big accomplishment. It's been a lifelong dream. I have Blink outdoor cameras in my nest box. Blink uses a proprietary software that I am not able to live stream. Okay. Um, I have discovered a camera. It's actually a Tapo camera, TAPO, and I have installed that into one of the bluebird houses. And that is live streaming on my channel. Now we're waiting for new occupants to come because they already fledged their babies. But now on my channel, you can see not only the outside of the box, but also the inside. So once they build another nest, again, these are wild birds, guys. I can't control them. But hopefully, fingers crossed, Mama Bluebird likes the setup again, or a different bluebird couple will move in. Bluebirds typically have 3 broods a year. A brood is every time they build a nest and put eggs in it. Okay, that's called a brood. And so they've had one. I am expecting 2 more broods from each of our nesting birds. So fingers crossed. I hope somebody likes the nest box and moves in, and then we can see them actually construct the nest, lay the eggs, see the babies hatch, the whole thing, the whole cycle. So I'm very, very excited about that. And that is on my YouTube. Now, friends, we are also live this morning on YouTube as I'm crocheting. Okay. Anytime I come live, you can go back and rewatch the live. So if you're just joining on and you're like, how did she start this blanket? I need to know. I need to make this. You can go back on my YouTube. There's 3 different buckets of there's videos, shorts, live. There's a bucket that says live, LIVE, because we're live. And you can rewatch how I made this from the very beginning if you want to make one of these blankets. Okay, so feel free to hop over to YouTube. There are links on the link tree. Now, here's the other thing. Every time I come live, I update the link tree with everything that I am working on. So you can see the yarn that I'm using today. You don't have to scramble and take notes at ODark 30. You can, just pop over later in the day and find what yarn I was using, what patterns, if there are, if there is a pattern available, the whole works. You can also see the previous lives as well. Okay, so I work very hard on my link tree to keep that up to date for you. But if you don't know, my name is April, and thank you so much to all the new followers here this morning. I don't even know how to see all the stats, but I know we have had a lot. It's been a very busy live this morning. So thank you so much to everybody who's stopping by and saying hi and hanging out. I really appreciate y'all being here. So, the next question I have, friends, I'm going to work on the next round of this. Okay, this is a 2-row repeat. We have finished our granny stitches. Okay, so we do three double crochets into the chain. Now I'm going to do the chain row. What you guys have to decide is what color am I doing next? We could go back and do more of the watermelon color. We could do the teal color. We could do another round of white. What do you guys think? What color would you like to see uh, me do next? What are y'all thinking? Mods, try to keep a tally for me because I'm not going to be able to see when everybody starts uh, typing in all their suggestion. Okay, and I'm going to talk about these stitches. So we're going to chain 3 into the chain space here, single crochet. This is our new corner. Okay, so I joined here with a slip stitch, chain 3, single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 3, skip 3, right in between these two clusters. Normally you would go in the top of the stitch here. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to go right in between and do a single crochet. I call that tacking it down. Okay, now we're going to chain 3. Again, skip these 3 stitches, go right in between these clusters and single crochet. 5 more subs to hit 50 subscribers. Y'all, thank you so much to all the subscribers. Amazing. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. If you are a subscriber, you are automatically entered to win. Tomorrow is the May subscriber giveaway. Every month at the end of the month, I do a little something just to say thank you to all the subscribers. And this month it is a $25 Amazon e-gift card. We're going to do the drawing tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Time. Okay, 8 a.m. Central Time. So here's our corner with a chain of 3, chain 3, skip 3, again, right in between the 2 clusters. We're going to do a single crochet, chain 3. Catherine, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Misty, thank you for the heart me and becoming the 91 member of the fan club, 91st member. Friends, remember if you are sending gifts or if you're sending heart me's, uh, making comments, make sure you come up here on TikTok, click the little heart, and collect your points. Okay. TikTok used to automatically collect those. They changed it a while back. You need to go up there and collect your points. That way you can level up on your membership. Okay. Tony Ann, thank you so much, becoming the 93rd member of the team. Nana Juju, thank you so much, 92. Y'all, thank you so much. 75 or 76,000 taps this morning. Amazing. This has been such a fun live. Thank you guys for hanging out and chatting and having fun with our friends. Joni said, "I thought I was already subscribed, but I hadn't." When, a while back, when there was all the TikTok's going to be here, TikTok's not going to be here stuff, some of them didn't renew. So if you're not set up on auto renew, you definitely you can re up it. Okay. Catherine said, "I've been watching on and off when you pop on." Nice, Catherine. Thank you so much for being here. Maggie, again, friends, is in the house. Could somebody, will you check to see if there is a poll completed on your end? Uh, I don't see anything, Gen X. Or Anvil, sorry, Anvil. I'm not sure the polls are working. Anyhow, friends, Maggie is here. Maggie is a wonderful TikToker as well for crochet, and she comes live on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Throughout the week, typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now she's got a lot of meetings lined up this week, so she might not be coming live during the week in the evenings. But we do not come on at the same time, and so I highly encourage you to give her a follow. A lot of our friends here overlap and already, um, do follow her. But if you're not, scoop her up. One cannot have enough crochet friends. Friends, here's the other thing. I know some of you are trying to grow your channels. If you are looking for crochet friends and you want to reciprocate and be a crochet friend back, just put some yarn balls in the chat, okay? I'll do it from the moderator account here so you can kind of see. What this tells people is I'm looking for crochet friends and I'm going to follow you back, okay? So if you are interested in doing that, if you want crochet friends, just put some yarn balls up there and you can support each other. I say all the time, this is not just about me. Yes, I'm sitting here crocheting, but it's about it's about all of us. It's about the whole community. It's about hanging out, having coffee, having some fun chat, doing all the things, supporting each other, liking each other's videos, and just being good crochet friends. So if you're interested in that, you definitely can scoop each other up. All right. It says there is a poll running. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it is not really working. So it's okay. But when you guys all spam the chat, I missed what is the next color we're working with. Did anybody kind of do a mental tally as the votes were flying up? Because I need to know what color I am switching to. Karina said, how do you put the yarn ball up here? It is a little emoji. Okay. It's a little emote. So go to your icons and you should be able to find a little yarn ball, just like you would do a smiley face or a kissy face or a hugs. Same thing. There's one that is for yarn. So teal is the winner. Okay. So I'm coming back around. I've got this much more, and then we're going to be switching colors. I like where you guys are headed with this. Chain 3, right in between the two groups, okay? I don't try to go in the top. I do a single crochet. We're adding a chain space all around this blanket. And what we're going to do when we come and switch our colors, we're going to work teal into this chain. And so this is what is called the modern granny. See how the stitches are stacking up on top of each other versus a traditional granny or a continuous granny, you would actually be working the 3 double crochets in between. So this has a very different look. But it's still very easy. So all we do is chain 3, skip these 3, go right in between these two clusters, single crochet, chain 3, skip these 3 right in between, single crochet, chain 3, skip over 3, single crochet. This is a very easy 2-row repeat. If you are a beginner and you're looking to make a blanket, I recommend this pattern. If you missed how I made this morning, we started this on the live. I've been on since 7:30 Central Time. I don't even know what time it is. This morning has been very busy with lots of folks stopping by and saying hi. But it's a very easy 2-row repeat. So all I'm doing is this chain row, and then I'm going to come back. That's what we're going to do next and work the granny stitch. The excuse me, the granny stitch is 3 double crochets. Let's see. Megan says, I have to go back to sleep, but I will check your YouTube page later. Okay, awesome, Megan. Sweet dreams. Um, if you are on the YouTube, okay, make sure that you are. Mama C, thank you for the greeting hearts. Appreciate that. If you go to my YouTube, make sure you click on the live tab to find this video live, okay? I'm coming back around. This is the corner where we first started, okay? You can see my little chain space here. I'm going to join with a slip stitch to this very first stitch. And I'm going to go into the corner chain space with another slip stitch, and then I'm going to snip off and I'm going to change colors. I like to give myself quite a bit of a tail here to weave in. Okay. Now, one thing I like to do when I'm working on this pattern, or anytime I work in the round, I ended right here. I like to turn my work and choose a different corner to start with. This will help to keep your work square as you work around. All right, now, friends, we started this morning and I was doing a little demo with the teal. So get your Frog's ready because I need this yarn. We're going to frog this out. Get a little frog action this morning. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. I can't stand to waste the yarn. Somebody said about me hydrating. I know I've been rambling on for what, 2 hours or something. I need to hydrate. So maybe before we start this teal color, I will get a little drink of my coffee here. Bear with me here, folks. Look at the condensation we have here in Alabama. It rained last night. We have the AC going too. We still have that much condensation. But cheers. Cheers, friends. Oh, and I got some condensation on my yarn. Fabulous. Let's try to get that off there. At least it's not dog slobber, right? Okay. So, I'm going to start with a standing double crochet in the corner. Now, friends, you could do a chain of 3. You could do a stacked single. All of those are perfectly acceptable answers or ways to start this. Okay. I'm going to start with a slip stitch on my hook. Again, I give myself a long tail so that I'll be able to come back and weave this in. And I'm going to be working into this chain space. So the last row, we made all these little sections. This is the corner. I always start in the corner. Karina said, we need to make koozies. We absolutely do, Karina. Melosa, cheers. How are you, friend? Um, we need to make koozies. Also, I need to make coasters. Okay, that is on my list. Coasters, even more than koozies. Koozies. I really need some coasters around here. Here I'm going to do a standing double crochet. So I hold the tail, I pinch it with my thumb and my pointer finger. I wrap my yarn around once. If you do not secure your tail when you are making a standing double, what will happen is this will spin off and you will be back down to one loop on your hook. So it's very important, however you choose to do this, to secure your tail. I wrap my yarn around once. We have 2 loops on our hook. I go down into the chain space. Now I'm holding this and it's awkward. This is not how I crochet. So what I do is I bring this tail forward and I transfer the job of holding that tail to Mr. Thumb. We have 2 loops here. If this lets go, it will again spin and I will be down to 1. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That is a standing double crochet. Again, if you don't like to do a standing double or you don't know how, it's totally fine. You could do a chain of 3 here. That works perfect. You could do a stacked single here. However you prefer to do it is what works perfect. Gen X has just become an 8-month subscriber. Thank you, Gen X. Appreciate that. Kim says, "Oh wow, I've never seen that." Let me do it again. This is new to some friends. Okay, let me do it one more time here, so you guys can see it. Now there is a video of this on my TikTok. I think there's one on my YouTube as well. Okay, so again, I hold my tail, secure that, wrap my yarn around, so we have 2 loops. Put my hook through, twist my hand forward. Aaliyah said, Mr. Thumb has a big job. He certainly does. He has to hold that tail. We have 2 loops on our hook. Again, if that lets go, this will spin off. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. This is a standing double crochet. Okay, so right back down into this space, we need 2 more double crochets. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. This is a corner, chain 2, scooch these over if you need to, and right back down in 3 double crochets. We need 1 more sub to hit 50, then we can gift subscriptions. I can't believe all of the new subscribers this morning and 87,000 likes. I got to do a cheers, guys. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you guys all so much for all of the support here this morning. Absolutely incredible. Texas Whiskey said, "You must hold your tails, people." I should make an emoji that says "hold your tail," right? I'm going to put it with a squirrel and say "hold your tail." I think we need an emoji for that, a little sticker. Uh, this morning, I am making a modern granny, and I'm making rectangle size. It doesn't. It's too big for the. It's too big for the screen. I'm not zoomed out here, but I like to show my hands when I'm working. So the way that we started this blanket, if you missed it, we started it this morning from scratch, and we worked a chain of 37. Then I turned my work, and working back into the second loop of the chain, I did single crochets the whole way down. So I did a total of 36 single crochets. That is what this little section is right here. That is how you start. Then I'm working granny clusters around. So I skipped two. Into the third, I did a little granny cluster, skip two, and then a granny cluster. Granny cluster is 3 double crochets. This is a very easy 2-row repeat, okay? So this is the cluster row. Then you come back and we just finished this row where we did a chain of 3 with a single crochet in between. What this does, it allows these stitches to stack on top of each other, and it gives it a really cool look. So here are some more examples if you're not familiar with this. I'm going to be working on this next week, but I did one where instead of in the chain, I started with some granny squares in the middle. But again, you can see how these stitches stack up. Okay, so that's one example. You can do it with all sorts of different colors. This is Red Heart Super Saver, and this is the color Black Light and black. But again, it's the exact same blanket that I'm doing right now. 50 subs! Oh my gosh. You guys, I can't say thank you enough. You have left me speechless. Seriously, absolutely speechless this morning. That is so incredible. Thank you so much for all of the support, guys. I really, and gals, I say guys too much. Friends, thank you so much. Seriously, that is absolutely incredible. This, guys, if you're wondering, is a hook minder. I have a little unicorn on here with a lobster clasp. This is hook size I. Okay, so when I'm working, I put one of these hook minders on there to remind me what size hook I'm doing. This is all of my hook minders, G, H, I, J, and K. So we're working with a size I hook this morning. So I just grabbed one of these out. I made these on the live one day just with some little charms that I had. If you're looking for these, I don't know, is Karen still here in the chat this morning? TSH, Karen, are you in the house? She may have had to run. Queen said, "Yay, us." I know, that is amazing. Oh, yeah, you like my container? I like it. It has little, here's my K's. K's are bigger, you know? They just screw together. These work great. I use them to store my little beads too. I get these off the Zon. Here's some beads. You can, I got this off of the Zon. Here's more charms. Here's little clasp in the top, but I just put my little charms. I can make little, I want to make a set of the little starfish ones. Here's some little turtles that I got, but these just screw together. Here's some I can make for winter. Look, a little snowflake. Meow. Little cat. So I just keep these in here. Here's a unicorn. Really cute unicorn. Oh, I like that one. Anyhow, total squirrel. Sorry, guys. I love my containers too. So let me get everything put back away here. So I'm not, did I get my hook minder out? Yes, I did. So all I do is I take my hook minder when I am working on a new project, and I just clip it onto my hook or onto my work. So that way, if I put my work down and I have so many like work in progress, I can come back and I'll know that this is an eye hook that I was using. Okay, so it just helps me keep track of stuff. Pinned right up here. Thank you, Maggie. TSH Designs by Karen is who you can get these from if you wish to purchase hook minders. Okay. Also, she makes knot slayers, but TSH Karen, guys, uh, I put a link on the link tree to Karen's Etsy store. So on the Etsy store is where you need to message her, but you can see her stuff that she has sold. And she makes great hook minders, also stitch markers if you want custom stitch markers, that type of stuff. Let's see. April, do you have an Amazon wish list? You could add yarns and stuff for more projects. I don't have a wish list, Lefty. I've never thought about doing that. I guess I could. I have my Amazon store where it has all the stuff that I like use, and I've got my little yarn holder and some other things on there. A lot of the books that I use, the Granny Stitch source book, the Book of Borders by Edie. I can't remember her last name, and I don't have the book next to me. That type of stuff. But yeah, I guess I could make an Amazon wish list. I don't know. I I'm kind of humble, and I know you guys like to like support me and stuff, but uh it's hard for me. I don't want to be like one of those people that always has my hand out, and is like gimme, gimme, gimme. I don't want to be that kind of person. So it's hard for me to um I guess think that way. And I know that's maybe not right, but Anvil said yes, make a wish list. All right, I will think about it. I will think about it, guys. I don't know. I'm mixed about it. Kimberly, thank you so much for did you gift a membership? I totally missed that. Angela, I made my own stitch markers, but you can get them from Karen off of Etsy. Her Etsy store is linked on my link tree. So if you're on my TikTok, click up here on the little dog. A bar will fly up the bottom. Click on the dog again. Look below my bio. You'll see HTTPS link tree. And on that, look for TSH Designs by Karen. And that will link you directly to her Etsy store. Friends, if you're looking for hook minders, stitch markers, knot slayers, I highly recommend Karen. She does beautiful work, and she's one of our friends here that is very supportive of the crochet community. And I really recommend supporting her small business. And I don't sell them. I just made some for myself. If you wish to make some for yourself, there is a YouTube video you can watch on my live replays of when we made these little hook minders. Okay. So you can see how I constructed these and the different tools that I used and everything if you wish to make some for yourself. Some of you guys are creative and you have beads in your stash already. Oh my gosh, 94,000 likes. I think my record of likes in one live is like upwards of 115,000. Um, but this is a very liked live. Thank you guys all so much for tapping your screens. It's truly amazing. Lot of likes this morning. I'm feeling the love. Hey Swim, how are you? This morning I am making a modern granny blanket. This is a knot slayer. Okay, guys, right here, what I'm holding in my hand. So it has a little point on it. And when you get a knot in your yarn, I don't know if I have any good examples here because I have a huge knot here. I don't know that I would use it for this. But as you're working along in your yarn, if you get a knot, what you can do is you slide this in and kind of tug on this. And I use it usually when I have much tighter knots. Okay, so let's say it's like this, right? And it's kind of, I'm putting up my own knot in my work. What you can do is you can slide this knot slayer in there and it can help to loosen up. There's just something about it that helps you to get the knots out very quickly. So Karen makes these and sells them. This was a gift from Gen X, one of our moderators here on the live, that she sent this to me. But Karen makes these. If you want custom ones, again, you can message her, but on her Etsy. Okay, guys, not on her TikTok. Message her on her Etsy store, and there's a link in the link tree. Okay. Also, she makes these hook minders to remind you what this one is, an I9 hook I'm using today. Okay, but we're making a modern granny blanket. This is a rectangle blanket, and I'm making it wheelchair size. 99,000, almost to 100,000 likes. Friends, I can't say thank you enough. Absolutely incredible live this morning. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. Thank you for supporting not just me, but all of our friends as well. Leah, thank you for being here. Round of applause again for our moderators, Anvil, Gen X, and Leapin' Llamas. Leah, 100,000 likes. There it is. Absolutely incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, and welcome to all of the new friends. I know we've had a lot of people joining this morning. If you are watching on the FYP, I'm going to be hopping off in the next 15 minutes or so. Feel free to come on into the live, give a follow, say hello. We don't bite over here. We have a wonderful group of friends. I come live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central Time. I live in Northeast Alabama. I am a hobby crocheter. I do work full time, so I hop off at 9:30 so I can do things like feed the dogs and fill the bird feeders and feed myself and whatever else randomness that I have to do before I need to go to work. I do work remote, but look at this yarn barf I've got this morning. Cake your yarn, friends. Don't be like April, rebelling it up over here. I'm like, I'm not going to cake this yarn. I'm just going to pull it from the center and see what happens. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But anyhow, feel free to join us. Now, tomorrow, for those that are watching still this morning, sneak peek of what's happening tomorrow. I'm going to be using a different yarn, but live tomorrow, I'm going to be making a star. Okay, this is a 12-point star. This is my first time making it. But this is what is on deck for tomorrow. Now, for tomorrow's yarn, I am going to be using Crystal at Bag of Day's new yarn. It is called Tonal Hues. I got it from Mary Maxim, and I'm going to be using the color Garden. So it's going to be a green star that we're making tomorrow. This is a free pattern that I'm following from Bella Coca. This is my first time making it, but I'm going to come on and we're going to make one from scratch tomorrow if you want to learn how to make a star blanket. Okay, so that is what we've got on deck for tomorrow. Also, for tomorrow, just as a reminder, if you are a subscriber, you are automatically entered to win our subscriber giveaway for the month of May. We're going to do it at 8 Central Time. And this month's subscriber giveaway is a $50 gift card to Amazon. You will have to give me your email address. I promise I'm not going to spam you and do all those crazy things. I just need it to be able to send the gift card. So you do not have to be present to win. Vicky, are you like psychic or something? Can somebody pin Vicky's comment? Vicky and I are like kindred this way. Vicky just said using that star blanket as the base for my bouquet blanket. The subscriber giveaway, sorry, is $25 e-gift card to Amazon. $25 Amazon gift card for the subscriber giveaway. Anyhow, I'm going to be using green yarn tomorrow. Green yarn. And what Vicky said, what she said, right there, what she said. I'm using the star blanket as a base for my bouquet blanket. There you go. There's some insight into what is happening for tomorrow and in subsequent days to come. So, Anyhow, the other thing we're going to start working on next week is I'm working on another modern granny. You guys have kind of seen a little bit of that. As we're wrapping down, I will give you a sneak peek. This is probably going to be next Tuesday. Okay, I'm working on this blanket. I'm making these squares in the middle. Sorry, it kind of I was had it kind of wadded up beside me. But again, same thing that we're doing today, modern granny mash up with granny squares. Okay, this is going to be next Tuesday if you want to see what is coming ahead. After that, Wednesday, Thursday, to be determined. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing, but whatever it is, I think it'll be kind of cool. So, anyhow, we're going to be winding down the live here. 113,000. Honestly, that might be the new record. I can't remember what the record number of likes is. I will have to look today when we get off the live, and I will share with you tomorrow. But I think, y'all, the screen taps this morning, I think you might have hit a new record here for me on TikTok. So thank you again to all of the new followers. Thank you to all of the subscribers that have joined with a subscription this month. I really appreciate the support of my channel. Um, not just your support of me, but thank you for supporting the crochet community. Thank you for keeping crochet going and learning new things and sharing your crochet journey on TikTok or whatever platform you're using outside of TikTok as well. I just think it's really cool. I learned to crochet from my grandma and my mom. My mom, I think, is still on the chat this morning. My mom is Mama Wheeler. I have been crocheting for 40 years. Crochet, for those that do not know, cannot be done by machine. Crochet is done by hand only. And it takes people like me and people like all of you guys to keep crochet alive and growing and branching out to new people to learn the crochet art. And try to support all of the fiber arts, whether you're a knitter, embroidery, tatting, whatever it is that you do. I really try to support and give back to the crochet community. That is why I come on live. I hope to inspire you. I hope somebody learned something today. Maybe you're inspired to try a modern granny blanket. If you missed how I started this blanket on the live, be sure and follow over on YouTube. My handle is Wheeler 8 Acres. And you can look on the live tab and you'll be able to rewatch this video from the beginning. I make these blankets a lot. This isn't the last time that you will see this, but it has been a very incredibly fun day for me here on the live. I really appreciate all the support. I can't say thank you enough. So I'm going to crochet to the very end here, and then I will be getting off the live. Mama Wheeler said, I'm the lucky mom of April. She's the most wonderful daughter. I always tell her, you're biased. You're biased. I will tell you, I have the most wonderful mom, too. There's not many gals who get to come on TikTok and crochet every day and have their mom in the audience cheering them on. She is my biggest fan. Frontrella, good morning. Thank you for being here. You are down in central Alabama. I am in Rainsville, if you know where that's at. We're right outside of Fort Payne. Sometimes we make it on the news, but we're a pretty small town. There's only about 5,000 people in my little town here. Look at the yarn barf. Goodness me, oh my. Thank you, Gen X, for the lightning bolts and knocking out that goal for me. I appreciate that. I really, Gen X, how are things in Arizona? We had rain last night. Fontrella said, "Oh, I know Fort Payne. Yeah, Fort Payne, uh, the waterfall, right? You probably know the waterfall. We have lots of waterfalls in Northeast Alabama, and there's kind of a famous one. It's called Little River Canyon. It's got a big waterfall, and most local Alabama folks have been to the waterfall, and that's right outside Fort Payne, which is where I." Uh, isn't Fort Payne where the music group Alabama is from? Paloma. You got it. Yes, they are from Alabama. Alabama is from Fort Payne, the musical group Alabama. So Fort Payne has about uh, 15,000 people. Fort Payne is like the big town that's close to me. If I got to go to Wally World, um, I go down to Fort Payne. So that is kind of, if we want to get a burger, we go down to Fort Payne. My husband works down in Fort Payne, but we're actually in Rainsville. I might just give up here, guys. These knots this morning, I'll tell you, I wanted to finish this. I hate to finish. I hate to leave a row undone. Are you guys like that? But I've got a lot of knots this morning. A lot of yarn barf, new skeins of yarn. So yes, the group Alabama is from Fort Payne. Fort Payne is where I do the county fair at too. When I put my crochet stuff in the county fair, that is where I go down to, is Fort Payne. So anyhow, yeah, it's a nice little area in Northeast Alabama. It's really pretty. We're nice and green. Cut it, Queen. I don't want to cut it. Look how close to the end I am. I only have this much more to go. Then I can maybe cut it. I don't know. Let's try. I'm really trying. I might just have to give up and work on it after, but I was trying to get this finished so I could leave it at a good stopping place. I'm a little OCD that way. Friends, have a great day. Thank you again so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. If you are watching on the FYP and you have not given a follow, follow now or lose me forever. I'm going to be getting off here in moments. So, last opportunity. Have an awesome day, everybody. Valdox said, "Love your live." Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Back in the 60s, my family would go pick potatoes there. How cool is that? It's a small world, huh? Randa, have a great day. Tomorrow, Jen has it pinned up there for us. What time I'm going to be live. I don't think I'm going to make it. I give up. I give up. Let's put a stitch marker in her. If Leah was here, I would show her me using a stitch marker. She thinks I don't use them, but I do have a stitch marker here. Let's pop a little stitch marker in and call it a day so I can go to work. Wah, wah, wah. But does it look like a watermelon, you guys? I wanted this blanket to look like a watermelon, and I really do think it looks like a watermelon. So I think on the subsequent rows, just as I'm brainstorming, I think now I'm going to switch probably back to the pink. 35,000 likes. Wow. That is incredible. Maybe I need another row of white out here. I don't know. I have to noodle on it. But I think it looks cool. You guys did a great job of helping me put this together. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I'm going to sign off. Have a fabulous day. I hope to see you guys all tomorrow as we work on the star blanket. Bye for now.